Starting to the top left, we have our Terran player for HoSeo, still one of the, well, the backbone of his team, one of the strongest player that they have in the lineup, a former champion. It is
HoSeo Jakji.
Jakji. He's back. Back on track and up against the Zerg player in the second game. Bottom right of Belcher Vestige, starting for Team MVP, it is
MVP Shine.
Former TSL Zerg is looking good. You know what's funny I noticed in the loading screen is these two players have like their levels. You know, Hardest Storm has levels. And since they're just using the tournament account for their teams, you can see like who got more kills. Eventually, as I watch the loading screen, I'm like, oh, well, right now HoSeo's level 2 in Terran, but HoSeo or MVP is only level 1 in Zerg. You can see how their team kind of evolves in that way. That's kind of interesting.
It's going to be really interesting over the course of the season.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, eventually we're going to be like, oh, look at that. Their Zergs are level 15 on this account.
And look at that gas. The drone already there scouting, and the one thing that the drone doesn't see yet is a barracks. Shine didn't scout at the bottom of the main base of Jakji, so this is one of the things that he might just want to do. And he expects that there's going to be forward Reaper, and this is the reason why we currently have him with the proxy Reaper. This is the reason why we have the pool before the hatch.
Yeah, and as soon as he starts the hatchery, he's going to get gassed ASAP because he needs to have speed out in case it's a heavy commitment to Reapers.
I'm sure Legend has shown it. I just missed it. Could you double check if he saw the barracks? He didn't, right?
I'm pretty sure he did not see it.
Yeah, he has no clue.
He's checking around other locations right now, but he doesn't know it's in the main.
It's a good position for Jakji's barracks, and with the Reaper he can of course now do a lot of damage. The question is how heavily will he commit to it. This is not the fastest Reaper build that you can go for. You can go for 8 barracks, 8 gas into Reaper. Jakji did it a little bit different, but Queens are now being built, and with Shine's opening going into the pool first, he will at least have the Queen out early in the game. He will also have the Zerglings a little bit faster, but keep in mind with nice micro, you can pressure a Queen and you can take down Zerglings even on creep. The Reaper speed was increased.
Yeah. He's going to need a lot more than one Reaper to be able to commit to that. We'll see if he starts a second one.
What you usually want against Reaper openings is either your speed or roaches out so that you can really chase them away. And the most dangerous part is if the Terran player is able to establish a bunker.
Yes.
This is tricky. The Zerg has to react, try to take down the SCV, but if the Terran player succeeds, then you are in a lot of trouble. Like this, the Terran player has the map control, and the Zerg is the one who needs to respond to it.
The Reaper being a little bit overzealous here. He will come in and scout the gas. That's what he wants to see. This is not really an aggressive Reaper opening. It's a scouting Reaper. And he gets to see everything. If he's in an SCV across the map like this, it's not going to last as long as this Reaper will. And he can even deny mining here now if he's on top of things. And he does. He goes right for that drone.
If that would be a very aggressive opening, then what we would have seen is a heavier commitment to Reapers. Yeah. We have only one on the map. And as you pointed out, Wolf, it's a scouting issue, and you want to pressure your opponent. You want to be there, sell the idea, or at least the thought that there might be additional Reapers on their way, and then pressure the Zerg a little bit, try to take down a few units, and this is exactly what he does. Takes down a drone, works very well for him, and back home, he goes into a safe defense with Widow Mines.
Yeah, and this is so cool because basically what we're seeing here is in Wings of Liberty, if you want to go for a Reaper expand, you could still do it against Zerg, but because the Reapers were a little bit slower and they didn't regenerate, you couldn't get any utility out of the Reaper except the scout. But now he's able to deny mining, keep scouting, keep the pressure on, and this is a great change to Reapers that, you know, is quite controversial and well talked about right now, but I really like how it sets up the early games sometimes.
And even though we didn't have any resources lost for Jakji, as Legend highlighted on the screen, we have still a very good defense for Shine. I really like this. He didn't panic, he didn't overcommit to his defense. We have him with 3 Queens. He rather prioritized Queens over Zerglings, which makes a lot of sense, since Zerglings won't help you too much against Reapers when you don't have the speed upgrade. Yes, you can force the Reapers back, but you can't take them out unless the Terran player makes a mistake.
Yeah.
So this was really well executed, and now we have Shine with the transition into speed, into the Roach Warren, and he has now the choice of being aggressive or just macroing it up.
He's seen a lot of Widow Mines already, and I feel the smarter choice, rather than to attack, would be to take another base and defend. He starts a Spore Crawler, in fact, as his fear from the Widow Mines. But, I mean, that is a lot of Widow Mines we've seen here already. He already saw 2 coming out. And when there's two coming out like that this late, there's probably even more. So to attack would be a little bit suicidal, and he takes the base instead.
Yeah, he gets his third base now, and we have him with additional gas. He's droning up. He's just playing the safe at this point, not overcommitting to any kind of aggression. We've seen very aggressive openings of Zergs against Terran. They are trying to utilize the faster burrow upgrade, going into roach pressure. And if you know where your opponent's Widow Mines are positioned, you can try to trigger them with a Zergling, and then during the cooldown time, do your damage. But now we have for Shine the third base that we talked about. We have attack into layer. So right now Shine is just showing, hey, I'm not afraid to go into the late game.
Yeah, and many Zergs have been that we've seen in the GSTL so far. So what sort of composition will Shine build if he can get there? Will we see him try to use Hydralisk against Terran? Will he rather go into just normal Infestors with some Viper support for Blinding Cloud? This is going to be our first late game Zerg potentially against Terran that we've seen so far in the GSTL.
Yeah, and also noteworthy is that we don't have a heavy commitment into Hellions. This is one of the bread and butter builds these days, Hellions, and then later on into Hellbats. Something that Jakji is not doing. Jakji is just trying to get the defense. He has a lot of Widow Mines in comparison to most Terran players that we've seen so far, 4 in total. Really making this work, setting up his wall, repositioning Widow Mines, and this is going to be a very interesting game, and Jakji definitely showing that he is not planning to end this quickly, that he doesn't want to be overly aggressive, but he does want to operate from 3 bases.
Yeah, third base being taken on the left side of the map. And the Mutalisk problem is going to be one that is partially solvable with Widow Mines if you can move them into the right place at the right time. Takes out that Ling with the Widow Mine. He will have to take out this Ling with his Hellions before he can fight here, and he's got the armory going down. We'll probably see him add a few more Hellions, but once he figures out the Mutas are on the menu, he's going to have to add Thors. Mutas are so fast in Heart of the Swarm, and they regenerate so quickly that they're just, in general, a little bit scarier. If you don't kill them, they're going to get away and they're going to come back.
Against Terran, you have to be very careful, though. You need an Overseer with your composition so that you know exactly where the Widow Mines are positioned. If you run into a field of Widow Mines with your Mutalisk, you can kiss the game goodbye. They will be gone in a second, and then you have nothing left. You lost your entire army, especially if they are clumped up. And this is definitely what you try to avoid. So usually we see Mutalisks with Overseers trying to poke a little bit, find out where the Widow Mines are, dodging them, or sacrificing a unit if you want to.
Yeah. Like that Ling, for example, he's trying to get some information about where his opponent's Widow Mines are. That's why he sends them in one at a time like this, so he can try to get them on cooldown. And the Widow Mines are not set up for Mutalisk defense right now.
Yeah, not at all.
Starts 7, and this is risky, like you said. I did not expect to see Mutalisk against already scouting Widow Mines, you know?
It's very dangerous. The problem that you have is, just picture this. You go into the main base in the main mineral line with your Mutalisk. Nice harass, by the way, by Shine. But you're on the main base. You're attacking the SCVs. So the Terran player sets up one of the Widow Mines a little bit farther to the right, then uses all his SCVs and runs them to the right. What do you do as a Zerg player? Do you chase them down? Do you try to? You could lose everything in this position. And this is also the situation that Shine finds himself in now, dealing with Hellbats with those drones.
Oh well, the Marines are protected by the Hellbats in the front. The Mutas are targeted down. He does have to get out of here, but he will be able to escape the Mutas with that speed upgrade.
Oh, beautiful.
Meanwhile, he attacks the third. This is great multitasking by Jakji here, and he's got that. Having just a few Hellbats here is so useful. Those drones need to stay as far away as possible.
Hellbats to buffer are really crazy here, and this was very well done. He has the damage output that he needs with the Marauder, stims through, takes down the hatch. That was a lot of damage, not only dealt to him at the third base, but also in the main base with the initial drop.
Yeah, really well done by Jakji. The multitasking that we're seeing out of him is quite impressive.
Not a lot of workers killed, but just the position that Shine is in now is very unfortunate for him. The Mutalisks have been spotted, so now missile turrets are being built. The repositioning of the Widow Mines is also something that he's going to do.
Yeah.
Very, very well played by Jakji here. Very dominant.
It's 3 base against 2 base, Terran versus Zerg. He's taken a massive supply lead. The tech is useless. The Spire alone is a ton of gas, but with all these mutas that he's made 9. That's 900 gas that is no longer relevant or useful. It's not even useful in Heart of the Storm to defend drops because of the boosters. You're never going to catch a drop with those mutas. That's just not going to happen.
You could see that at the bottom right. He was going in with the Mutalisk, trying to target down the Medivacs, and the first thing that Jakji did is just load up the units, hit the afterburners, and bam, he was out of there. The Mutalisk just like, what?
Yeah, he didn't even care. He's using this Reaper still.
The Mutalisk has this dumbfounded look and is like, well, I'm supposed to be faster now in the Heart of the Swarm. Why can't I even catch up with the Medivac?
I really like he uses the Reaper to control the Watchtower because it's good against light units. If he only sends a few lings in and he's already regenerating his hit points, will finally fall in the middle of the map.
Look who's speeding into the Zerg base.
Yeah, one medevac goes to the right side, the main army goes to the left, and the mutas are way out of position here. Banelings will be enough, but he used Baneling against Marauder.
Exactly, that's not really a trade that you want to go for. And it's more of a positional drop than anything else. Creep tumors being taken out, and even though I like the creep spread for Shine, with Jakji's map presence and his control of the map, he can now force the creep back and make sure that Shine can't use them.
Yeah, and he has nearly twice the army supply of Shine right now. And his 2-2 just finishing up at this moment in time. Pulls back with the medevac, stims in here. There's a decent amount of Banelings, but he does not want to fight against this many Marauders and off creep.
This is a scary army.
Oh no, the Banelings are badly patched here. A huge mistake. The Hellbats even getting some shots off.
The Hellbats having a great time here, and look at this army for Jakji. He's stimming in, he's dropping scans, he's taking out tumors, he's moving, taking the Spore Crawlers apart to guard the medivacs, and here comes the army for Shine, trying to make a last stand against the 200 supply army of Jakji, but the Terran player shows no mercy.
Marauders at the front against Hellbats, and then at the very back Marines. That was perfectly positioned by Jakji, knowing exactly how to use this composition. He is going to wreck this mineral line. He can take out the Spire. This is game over.
This is game, definitely. Shine is trying his best now with the last desperate attempt to use Banelings, but his natural is going to be taken down. +3/+3 is being researched for Jakji. He's operating on +2 armor and
Marauders
attack.
on the ramp on hold position. The Banelings have to fight the Marauders first. An excellent split here as well.
Jakji is showing Shine who's boss in Heart of the Swarm.
He certainly is, and it's looking really, really good for him for his restart of his career so far. Takes out the Queen. He now has to fight drones against Marines with 2-2 and Hellbats.
Hellbats against drones, drones against Hellbats. These two, they don't mix. And Shine, he GG's. Jakji with a second win. Takes out Dream, takes down Shine. Great play here by the NS HoSeo Terran player.
Yeah, he's certainly turning things around. And things looking a little bit grim for his team at first, but he's not even the last player.
3-2 for NS HoSeo.
Yep, taking a lead. Who is MVP going to bring to the table now? Maybe somebody with a little bit more Heart of the Storm experience. The last thing I would expect is DRG at this moment in time, to be honest. You know, DRG is someone you would expect in Wings of Liberty to come out right now, but not in Heart of the Storm, I feel. Not in this matchup, and now with his, you know, he's been playing a lot of Wings of Liberty from so many different tournaments, like Iron Squid even, for example, not in Korea.
I don't know who to expect from MVP. I have really no idea. I don't really see Keen playing because of his preparation against Rain.
Yeah.
DRG, I don't know. It's like, it's really difficult to make a choice here.
It certainly is. It's like, you've got a lot of good players on the bench, but none of them seem to be good against a really Heart of the Storm experienced Jakji who has a lot of multitasking, a lot of good build orders. It's like, do you have somebody who could beat Jakji, or are you just going to hope for the best and pick someone like DRG who has really good mechanics?
MVP is definitely going to be one of the main contenders for the title in the next GSTL season, but now we're in this transition phase, and NS HoSeo, because they weren't participating for a long time in the last team league, and also don't have a lot of players in the individual league, have a bit of an edge.
Yeah, they certainly do, and Jakji is the sharpener of that edge, just really cutting through, getting his team up to 3 points, and now 1 point away from victory, and MVP's got to call on somebody strong here. The final boss, is it his time? Are they just going to try it and see what happens?
There are a lot of good Terran players on this bench too. Is it really time for a Zerg against the Terran again, when there's still a player left for NS HoSeo to snipe him? Do you bring a Terran player? I don't know. I want to find out. I really want to know what the choice of Team MVP is.
This is when an MVP might want to bring somebody out like Tails, but I don't think he's here today, so it's not really on the table.
I haven't seen him.
Yeah, I don't think he's here today, but we'll see. I mean, only time will tell, and I would have to predict DRG comes out today and makes some sort of showing, but I just don't know if that's the type of choice the coach can make right now.
DRG certainly does not have as much experience in Heart of the Swarm as the players on the NS HoSeo bench. From the skill level, he's one of the best players that we have in StarCraft 2, a very consistent player. Had his slumps, had his downtimes, but still, overall, over the entire career, one of the strongest players. So I feel from a point of individual skill, he's definitely better than what NS HoSeo can throw against him. But can he do it in Heart of the Swarm?
And it's going to, in fact, be this guy. Is that Monster? Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, Monster has been, he's had a lot of time to practice Heart of the Swarm. He's never been one of our strongest Zerg players. He's always been a decent Zerg.
He's been a good Zerg who was able to cause the downfall, the first downfall of MC.
Yep.
It's going to be Monster, a strong Zerg, another Zerg versus Terran. He has seen exactly what Jakji did with the Shine, and he will make sure that this doesn't happen to him.
His Heart of the Swarm experience, I always feel we have to at least mention this, is listed as 12. So it doesn't look like the coach, unless he's just messing around, is saying that he's extremely experienced.
Again, guys, this Heart of the Swarm level is basically more of a joke statistics. The coaches are given the chance to rate their own players and put kind of a fun number in. Marine King was 22,222 because he always comes in second place. So this is not really an authentic number where you can measure a player's skill in Heart of the Swarm, just to clarify that once again.
Yep. Well, we're going to take a 5-minute break. When we come back, we can see if Monster can not only take out Jakji, but the final player of NS HoSeo as well. Otherwise, MVP will find themselves eliminated from the preseason. So stay tuned. We'll see you guys in 5.